Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Alice Ian Elam. I am a real estate advisor and growth director here at the Freedom Builders Network. I am going to go through how to turn leads into clients automatically. So this is going to be a really interactive training. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'm happy to help you. I am going to be going through KV Core, which is our CRM that we use here. If you do not use KV Core, you can still get a lot out of this, especially in the first 30 minutes or so, or the beginning part, because I'm going to be talking about how to leverage automatic email campaigns. So no matter what you're using for email, this will certainly be something that you can use. Again, please feel free to interrupt me, ask questions, put it in the chat. I want to make this as easy as possible for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just so you know, too, a little bit about me. I got my real estate license last year. And before that, I was helping real estate agents with marketing. And before that, I've done about 13 years of sales and marketing. So this is kind of my bread and butter. I geek out over this stuff. So let me figure out how to. Okay. Cool. So one of the things I went over in the last training I did was the importance of turning your followers into leads. So on social media or any kind of lead, you want to make sure that you're getting them into your CRM to nurture them. Maybe they're not quite ready to act right now, but those are some things to think about, and you want to stay top of mind. So even for people who maybe have said, oh, I'm just looking, you want to stay in flow, as they say in ninja selling, staying in flow, meaning top of mind. So when they're ready to act, you're the first person that they think about. And these email marketing drip campaigns are a great way to do that. Give them valuable content. So not just, hey, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a house. You're like, well, what do I email them? Right. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks of all the things that we can do there. And then, of course, 70% of your business comes from follow-up. So maybe people who you get maybe a Facebook lead or Zillow lead, they're not ready right now. So what can we do in the meantime to give them valuable content automatically, so it makes it easier for you? And then, of course, 9 out of 10 marketers use email marketing. Email is not dead. I know social media is all the rage, but what do you do from getting them to social media or a lead to, a client? It's email. Email is more personable. People are more likely to be like, oh, yeah, want valuable content. They're only going to give you their email if they find value in that. And then, of course, 96% of consumers check email every day. Maybe some of you right now are checking your email. So yeah, just wanted to kind of go through some stats really quickly with you before we get started. This little sheet here, and I'll put it in the chat, is what I'm using to reference in this training right now. A couple things, if you're not familiar with KV Core and you want to be more familiar with it, I have some trainings here that I can send you all, or it's in this little spreadsheet here, and I'll put it, if you're watching the replay, I'll put it in the description. And then there's a KV Core official training that you can look at. And then somebody named Sylvia Dana, who is with EXP, she has this huge YouTube channel of all this KV Core information. So she is a great resource as well if you aren't familiar with KV Core. So we're going to kind of go into like a really specific thing into KV Core today. But I just kind of wanted to give you those resources if KV Core is new for you and you're like, what are you talking about? I don't know how to get there. All right. So then what I'm going to show you right now is a campaign that we set up for our team in KV Core, and we call it the 20-day blitz. This is something that you can either use when maybe somebody's not quite ready to act, or they're just kind of looking. This would be a great campaign for them, or maybe somebody who you've reached out to multiple times in the last couple weeks, but they're not really responding. So maybe something a little softer sell would be a great way to use this. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can use drip campaigns, but this is just one example. It's a more, I wouldn't say generic one, but it's more value driven. It's not specific to, it is a buyer campaign, but it isn't specific to, first-time home buyers or something like that. A lot of times what happens is we get overwhelmed with how much marketing and how many things we should be doing. Oh, we should do an open house drip campaign, and we should do a, this drip campaign and this drip campaign. And so this is just something, it's a little more generic that you can use with a lot of different people to make it easier. It's kind of like a first step into marketing. What you're seeing here on the screen, if you're in KV Core and you do have KV Core, you can go to this little tab here called Marketing and then Smart Campaigns. So that's where I went here. The KV Core has a library of different campaigns. I find them kind of generic and not super helpful, but some people might have had some really great luck with them. That's why I really like this one, because it is kind of more tailored and more valuable content than just, hey, I saw you were looking on my website, want to go see a house. So what we have here is any marketing system, email system should be able to do this. So it's day 1, day 2, and it tells you, you can kind of space them out based on, what you want the messages to be. So like day 2 is the first day of this campaign. So you meet the lead or you get the lead on a Monday. This would go out on Tuesday. So then you can preview it here. This is the first one that comes out. Hey, I want to give you a free copy of our comprehensive buyer's guide, and I'll show you all this where you can get content in just a minute. Reach out anytime. So it's just giving them valuable information here. Hey, why you should get pre-approved. So this is a great article because, one of the things we need them to do first is to get pre-approved in order to be able to put an offer in on a house. Then it sends a text message here. So, hi, I've sent you a couple emails. Sometimes when you're using any kind of email marketing campaign, it will go into spam or like their other promotionals folder. So it's always a good idea to either send them a text and say, hey, I sent you some information, but in this system, we did it automatically. So give me just a second. Let's see. In the chat we have, will we be able to get some of the templates? I agree, the standard are pretty bland. I can try to put something together for you. I'm not sure how it will do to share it across, but I can at least kind of show you how we set these up and be able to kind of go through them that way. So hopefully that'll be helpful. I don't know if there's a way to share it across teams, like our team was able to share this to each other, but I'm not sure if we can share it out to everyone else. But I'll show you how to do it in this training. So hopefully that'll help. All right. So I'm just kind of showing you how it goes, day 1, day 2, day 3. Now there are some tasks in here as well. So on day 4, call and leave a voicemail. So if you wanted to add that in, you can. I always, it's always good to make a either face-to-face, phone-to-phone call. So if you can, call them and let them know, you're a real person. Hey, I've been sending you some valuable content. If you have any questions about buying a home, I would love to help you. So it's just another great touch point. And then, to go through each one of these. So let's see, like I said, we do the buyer's guide, which is from Keeping Current Matters, which I'll show you in just a minute. All of these templates are from Keeping Current Matters, and I'm going to go through that in just a second. The great thing about Keeping Current Matters is no matter where you are in the country, they are really great articles and valuable content. I'll also show you some other ways that you can get some content for these campaigns. Another thing that we add is this schools and communities guide that we were able to get that is local to us, which is great. So if you have something local where you can give people information, people are always wondering about schools and communities. So that's something that we purchased. And to be honest, I'm not sure where we got it from, so I can't help you there. Let's see, another one here, your journey to your home ownership. So it's this little infographic from Keeping Current Matters. And again, we just basically pulled stuff out of there that we thought would be valuable for our clients. So your area, your niche, what people you like to work with and what information they find valuable. So just putting them on a drip campaign that way is a great way to use that. So so it's just 20 days. There's a lot of, there's no like special formula, and maybe, other people have found something. Really just try out what works and you'll figure out, just try it out and see what works for you and your clients. So again, we don't want to bug them to death, but this does come out pretty much every day with a valuable information. I would say this is a great thing to use for someone that you want to try to get them ready. And in 20 days, if they haven't responded or anything, you could always put them on like a once a week kind of drip, just to keep them going. But, it's a way to not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily want to send this every single day for a year, but it's a good way to start because it is a little more consistent and a little more frequency. Okay, so I want to go through some ways to find content. So if you're like, this is too complicated for me, this is way too much, you can always just do this manually. You can have a list of all of these and like, hey, day 1, I send them this, day 1, 2, I send them this, and you can put those templates in your email, even if you don't have a CRM. So it's a great way to just, and then you could just copy and paste, and it would be super easy to send, if you had 10 leads or 20 leads, just send it automatically. That's another way, even if you're not using a CRM, that you could do this. Automation is always great because it makes it a lot easier, and then you don't have to think about it. Okay, so are you guys familiar with Keeping Current Matters? Does anyone have a subscription to this? There's different levels of subscriptions for these. So this one is the paid one. I'm not sure how much it is. I'm going to say it's like $20 a month, maybe. But there's this little place you can do where it's blog post. So you can go through and just look at all these posts here. Awesome. Jeffrey has Keeping Current Matters, and they're just some really great articles. So what I would recommend is just going through them and figuring out what you think would be great. So like 2022 housing forecast. Let's see, will prices fall this year? I mean, that's a great one because a lot of people are asking those questions like what's going on in the market. So what you do, let's see, it's being slow for me. Usually you can click on these and they'll go to the article, and then you can just copy them and paste them into email. It's thinking about it. There we go. Does anyone have any questions? So in Keeping Current Matters, there is a couple ways to do this. You can just copy the post and paste it in there. Or you can share it. So if you wanted to put this on your social media feed, it's a great thing to share, or you can schedule it. So it'll send out at a certain time. It's kind of cool too. It has these little categories. So if you know what kind of demographics or people that you like to work with and have worked with in the past, if you have a lot of baby boomers in your area, you can certainly send stuff that's more specific to them. Buying myths are great, infographics. So you can kind of pull through if you want to send some like, 4th of July, happy 4th of July. There's some holiday stuff in there. How do you access Keeping Current Matters? Yeah, so if you go to, I think it's my KCM or keepingcurrentmatters.com, and then you sign up for an account, and then you can basically buy the ads. And there's, like I said, there's different levels. So I think this one is the not super expensive plan, but it's it's a few, I don't know, $20 a month. So you can go in and purchase that from there. Oh, they have video upgrade as well. Okay, great. Yeah, they have videos. They have all sorts of awesome stuff. So that's one resource that you can use in order to find content to be able to send them. Again, you could send this via text, you could send it via email, and you could send it, on your social media. So it's just a great thing to add here. Another one that is really great is called House Logic, and it's through the National Association of Realtors. So I think if you're a NAR member, you can get this for free. So you just have to log in with your number and your last name, and then you can get started here. So if you're trying to find something that's a little more free content, this is a great way to go as well. So you can get content for your consumer communications easy. So you just click this little Get Started button. You can search by themes. So if you wanted to try to get more sellers, you could say, ready, fix, sell. You could kind of find one of these do's and don'ts of today's transactions. So there's some really great information here. This is even, if you're trying to just drip on somebody, this is some great information here. Jennifer says you can go to keepingcurrentmatters.com and get free access to their blogs. If you want to the customized version, great, videos and social media graphics, then you can upgrade to the paid plan. That's great. Thank you, Jennifer, for that. Yeah, so that's great. So you can get these more generically. So when we have the paid subscription, so when it comes up with like our logo and things like that, it'll have your information on it. So if you are okay with it not being personalized, that's great information. You can just pull it for free. 12 smart ideas with dealing with the paint shortage. I mean, all sorts of things. I mean, people love this. This would be great content for like past clients or, people that you've just gotten closed with, bathroom renovations, all sorts of information. And then, it's just a really easy. So let's say we do this one, natural kitchens, you select, and then you click next step, and then you figure out how you want to hand it out. So you could add it to a newsletter, add it to your blog or social media. So let's say we want to do your newsletter, and then you can just copy and paste that in and it'll work. So that's kind of another resource for you. And then if you're trying to get more location specific information, this NARRPR is great. And I think most people have access to it. So this is a great thing if you're like listing more information for a specific area. So if you have like Raleigh, North Carolina, let's see if that'll pull up for me. Yep. So it has all this information here. If you wanted to do school information, you can pull schools. You can just pull some really great information there. And that's just a map. But if you come down here, you can put a little market report together. So if you're like wanting a specific neighborhood, let's see, Preston. Let's see if it'll pull up. Okay. Let's try just Cary then. Well, it was pulling up. Now it's thinking, I guess. So you can use a zip code, something like that. Okay, it's just being slow. But anyways, it'll give you really great information about your specific area, how many houses have sold in the area, all that information. So it's a really great handout to give to either past clients or clients that are looking in a specific area. And it's being slow, so it's not working for me right now. Let's see. You just kind of have to play around with it and see what happens. Okay. And of course, I haven't played around with it enough to get information, but all right. Another one you can use that's a little more, just the branding's a little different is coffeecontracts.com. So it's coffee and contracts. And this is also a subscription. It's a little more, I would say, Instagram-y, like the little pretty graphics, things like that. And so I don't have a subscription to this, but this is another great one if you really want something that's like really more of that aesthetic, less, infographic-y and a little more, I guess, Instagram editorial. This is another great avenue for that. So if you have a specific brand and you feel like this is kind of more in line with what you want to put out, these are great graphics as well that you can use for social media as well as blog posts and things like that. And of course, email. So all of these are located in this little squeeze drip campaigns training links. So you can access those later, and I will put in the description if you are watching the replay for this. So you'll be able to get access to that. The other thing that's great about content and places that you can find are local content, right? Everyone wants to know what food restaurants are opening this week, what information, let's see, what I don't know, festivals are going on, things like that. So the two that we have here that are local to the Raleigh-Durham area are Triangle on the Cheap and Raw Today. If you're in a different market, I guarantee you there's some kind of email subscription that you can find that tells you what's going on in the area this week. So it's kind of cool because I have subscriptions to both of these, meaning I just get the weekly or the daily email. So it comes to my inbox. I can look through it and go, oh, okay, this is what I want to tell people about. So again, these are great for leads. These are great for people that you've already gotten under contract to keep in touch with. You could do a weekly Friday email and just say, hey guys, here's what's going on in our area today, this week. I mean, it's a great value and it's keeping top of mind. So this is one. They have like a little calendar that you can look at of what's going on this week. And it kind of gives you just information. I also share these on my stories a lot and people really love them, especially with Instagram, being able to have a link and to anyone, you don't have to have 10,000 followers. So you can put a link to the Triangle events. That's just great information for people to have. And then the other one is called Raw Today. And it just gives you information on what's going on in the area. So sometimes they'll put, real estate news in here. Sometimes they'll put, trending, what new buildings are coming, what events are happening, what restaurants are opening, just all sorts of information. So this is all information that you can certainly pull from to be able to create either a weekly email that you want to send out or just another touch point for this 20-day blitz. Any questions at this point? Has anyone tried any of these tactics in order to, drip on people? Okay. So now I'm going to go through how to actually set this up in KV Core. So KV Core is a little tricky with how it works. So first you're going to have to put the templates together and then you can put the campaigns together. So you'll want to go back into KV Core, Marketing, Smart Campaigns, and click on Templates. Now every email marketing campaign or email system is a little different. So this is just how this one works, but I'm sure it's very similar in other platforms if you use something different. So what you'll do is you'll create a template. You can add template. You can clone these templates that they already have in here. But what I always recommend is, putting your own stuff together. That's what we did for that one. So you can click add template. So make sure you have the template that you want to use. So for this first one, we want to do an email. So you'd click add template, email template, and then you want to name it. So one of the things is there's all these ones in KV Core that are already here. And usually you can do by subject or by template name. So someone one time was asking me like, hey, I can never find my templates. So I would recommend maybe putting in a subject that's easy or start the template name with 00. So it'll come to the top when you sort it. So if you go here, email template, you could always put like, 0, 20-day email blitz. So you can find it. And then the subject will be what the user sees. So you want something really catchy, something that explains what you're going to send them. So let's say I'm going to put an email together about what's going on in the Triangle. What's maybe looking for something to do this weekend in Raleigh. Something simple like that. Try to think of something very intriguing, something that's going to catch their attention. You're going to be kind of in their promotions with everything else. So you want something that people are going to, really hold on to. So let's say, don't make this mistake when buying a home, right? That's a great one. So then you can put whatever subject line you want in there. And then you can, from these keeping current matters, you can literally just copy the post and then paste it in. Boom, it's there. So these also are great because it literally just tells you, will the home prices fall this year? So then you could even put that as your subject line. So pretty easy, right? You copy and paste, and then you click add template. And then it should show up. See, 0, the subject is there. So you'll want to put, like I said, 0. You could always put 0 for this 20-day blitz campaign, or you could put 20 dash. Again, you want to keep the first part consistent so you can be able to find it. Actually, this would not be the name of the template. This would be like day 1, because each one will have a separate thing. So for each template after that, I would put the same thing, but I'd put day 2, day 3, day 4, or email 1, email 2, email 3. So to make it as easy as possible for you to find. You could also do a spreadsheet and put them all in there so you know what you've named everything. That's not a bad idea either, because again, it gets lost in all of this minutia of all these things here. If you want to edit, you just click edit. So at any time, if you want to change it out or change the template, you can do that. Same thing with text. So you just hit add template, text template, and then you'll call it the same thing. And then maybe it'll be 20-day, day 1 text. You could put an email and a text together, and then you can say, hey, I think it's this. Yep. If you do this little squiggly line thing, I forget what it's called. I was not good at English, but it's beside the P. If you hit shift and then beside the P, it gives you this little bracket. And then you can actually put the lead name in there. So it automatically says, hey, Alice, hey, Jim. It makes it a little more personable. And then, I sent you an email with, whatever you want to put there. And then you click add template. And then once you have them all there, then you can start to build out the campaign. So then you'll go to your campaigns and click add campaign. And then this is what's called like the logic. So this will make it for the automated. When do you want this campaign to turn on? And again, each email marketing campaign or system that you use will use the same kind of thing. So you want to start the campaign when the lead is new. So if you had a brand new lead, it's in new status, the contact is transferred, hashtag. I think that one would be a great one to do, because then you can kind of control it a little bit more, or a specific date occurs. You can also add advanced triggers. So when let's see, we usually use it as status is prospect. So then when our leads come into our system, it starts as new. And then when we set it to prospect, it will trigger this campaign. So it would be somebody that, like I said, not necessarily an active lead, but it's somebody that you're looking to, get them going or information like that. So this is great logic. The cool thing is that when you turn them to prospect, it'll automatically send out. So with that too, if you change them from prospect to active lead, it will kill the campaign. So those are all things to note. And if you did want to take someone off it specifically, I'll show you how to do that as well. All right. So, or you could do, I do not want to start a trigger and have you go into each one individually. But again, this is really to try to help you make it easy for you. So you can just go through and not have to even think about this. You can click next. And then what kind of campaign is it designed for? It's designed for a buyer. You can also do like agent attraction if you wanted to send an email campaign to agents, a vendor, so like lenders, a renter, somebody who's renting, so information about why you should buy, or a seller. So it's kind of great. Or you could do all if you had like just a more generic, this is what's going on, and this in Raleigh this weekend, that might be something you want to do. Make it easy on yourself. All right, so I'm going to call this the same thing I called the other ones. It's just not going to have day 1, day 2, day 3. So it's 0, 0 again. If you put 0, 0, it'll make sure that that is at the top of all your other campaigns. And well, actually for the campaigns, yeah, I think you can, and then put a description. So this campaign is for new buyers that are, I don't know, a cold lead or something like that. So you can know what it is for later. You'll just click next, and then you see everything up, and then you'll click finish. And there it is. Okay, so right now it's off. So you can build it out and then come back to it later. So we're going to click on it and we're going to start to add actions. So you'll add an action, you'll add an email. And then again, you'll have to name this again. And then you're going to pull that template. So all your templates that you have are going to be right here. So again, you can see this one's 00, this one's day 1. So you want to kind of try to keep it as consistent as possible to not mess you up. Who is it from? Me, the agent, and it's to a contact. You can have it run immediately, or you can set a time. So you can, like I said, you could start it on day 1. So this would be the time, days, hours. So if you wanted to send automatically the first one, you could. This one again is going to start after day 1, or you could do day 2. So if you wanted to do like that, okay. So then you could, what was the other thing? Oh, if you weren't sure what this template was and you want to make sure it's the right one, you can just click view template and make sure that that is what you're wanting. Then you click add. And then you see, oh, did I do this wrong? Okay, there we go. So this is showing the time is day 1, right? So it'll start on day 1. This is the name, the email, and then you can preview it here. So you can set it up like that. So we're going to add another action. I think I don't have one here, so I'm just going to use one that, let's say it's this one here. And then you'll hit day and then click 2. So you'll see day 1, day 2. If you're like, hey, I don't want to send them something every single day, you could send it to them on day 4. So then it'll send this one on day 1, this one on day 4, so on and so forth. And then just to make the campaign active, you click there and you're all set. So you just keep doing that until you build out your complete campaign. Any questions about this so far? Yep, so it's this little campaign active, or if you go to my campaigns, if you wanted to like do it later, you could just click it here and turn it on. And then at any point, if you're like, hey, I don't want this to be a campaign that is running. So let's say this person has the campaign here, it would show up here in this campaign little area here. And then you could just delete it if you wanted to turn it. Or if you're like, hey, I want to make sure that this person gets it, you can click add, and then you can add a campaign to it. And I'm not seeing it here. Oh, there it is, because it's turned on. It'll only show you ones that are turned on. So you could, it would show up there. Let's say this was it, the prospect buyer 20-day blitz. And then I could click there and he would start receiving that campaign. Now they can opt out. And if they do, you know, you can't send them stuff anymore from here, but you could always send them stuff from your personal email. The text messages come from like your generic text message number, but as long as they're a contact in kvCORE, it'll go to you. So like they'll know it's from you. And if they text back, you will, as long as you have it set up on your phone, you know, you'll be able to get those text messages back. One thing that we've found that works really well is kind of at the very end, like, hey, I haven't heard from you. Are you still, you know, are you okay? Or, you know, are you still interested? We found that that definitely works to trigger, oh yeah, I'm still interested. I'm sorry, I've just been busy. I mean, people get busy, right? So let me show you that one. I think it's this one. Let's see. Oh, no, this one doesn't have it, but yeah, just, it's a great thing to be like, hey, you know, just following up to make sure you're still interested, or, hey, have I offended you in some way? That one will get a response sometimes. So just thinking about that, if you're really trying to get a response, those are some things to think about. And again, these aren't anything crazy. There's just the buyer's guide, pre-approval is the first step. I'll keep in touch, kind of saying, like I said, hey, I'm sending you text messages and emails. I'm going to keep in touch. Let me know if you need anything. Your home journey to home ownership. It's critical to be prepared for a bidding war. 2022 market update. Reasons for to work with a real estate professional. And yeah, here we go. Are you getting my emails? A lot of clients have been asking me for why. Oh, that one doesn't say that. That's inventory, an inventory one. But yeah, that's another one that's great to use. But this one was saying, hey, are you getting my emails? Just checking. So it's a kind of a way for them to respond to. And it's not, hey, you want to buy a house? Hey, you want to go see a house? It's a little softer of that. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. These have been really helpful for us, again, because you can automate them and you can make these for buyers, sellers, agents, anyone, anyone really. This one seems to work well because you're sending them a lot of information. And then, like I said, after this, I would recommend after like a 20-day blitz, putting them on like a weekly campaign where you're sending them valuable information every single week. You can make it more generic, like this information here, and go ahead and set all that up and have it go for a whole year if you wanted. Or you can kind of send them more pertinent information as that's more relevant to what's going on right then. Really just depends on what you want to do. Does anyone have any questions or anything that I can help you with?
Hey, Allison, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this is Jeffrey Trower. I have a quick question. Do you utilize the hashtags for like hashtag buyer, hashtag seller? So when you try to create the drip campaign, you can put that hashtag within it so that you can, like, instead of going through all individual clients, you can just kind of do a big, huge mass email, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really just depends on how you want to set that up. But if you wanted to hashtag it 20-day blitz, you certainly could. And then you would have that be the trigger. So if you wanted to go through and select a bunch of people, that's certainly a way to do that. So you would just go into my contacts and then you would select whoever you wanted to get that campaign. Then you could say add hashtag, and then you would do 20-day blitz, right? Tag, update tags. So you would add that one to there. And then you would just want to make sure that when you do your smart campaign, I'll pull this one up again so you can see. Let's see. If you edit it, you can do it by hashtag is, and then it would come up because I don't have it here, but 20-day blitz, because I didn't actually put it in there. So when you say, hey, when I hashtag these people, you could certainly set it up like that, and then it'll automatically go to anyone that you hashtagged.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we found that we just like to do it when we put them into prospect, but this is definitely another way to do it depending on how you run your CRM and how you want to use it. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to help you at any time if you have questions. I'm going to put my email in here. And then if you're watching the replay, you can find me on all the social medias at Alice Ann Elam. So I'm even on TikTok now. Yeah, so you can message me there and I'm happy to help you with any questions that you have. All right. Thank you guys. Oh, who do we reach out to for KV Core questions? If it's something easy, I'm happy to help you. The cool thing about KV Core is they have this little feature down here. I would start here because they're really, really helpful. You can hit this little chat button in KV Core, and then you can search anything. A lot of times the articles, I can find stuff here. And if I can't find it in an article, then you can chat with someone. So you can hit chat, and usually within a couple hours they will respond, and they're very helpful usually. So those are also some great resources to use. A lot of times I will literally Google KV Core and then ask the question if I can't find it in here. And then, like I said, there's some really great resources for people doing full-on tutorials on KB Core on YouTube. There's also this thing in here. Sorry, I have to move my face around. Right here, if you go into the dashboard, there's courses, Agent Quick Start. That gives you everything you probably need to know about KB Core. I've also done some trainings, a quick overview, as well as the one I did previously was about how to use squeeze pages and gain leads through those squeeze pages for free leads. So that is also in that little spreadsheet that I sent you. It has links to both of those. So I'm happy to, you can use those as well. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and we will see you next week. Let me see. I think we have next week, we have Sharon Evans is doing a panel for buyers, some of the top agents in our area that are going to be talking about what they're doing and how they're able to be as successful as they are. So that's going to be a really great training next Friday at 11 Eastern. So definitely check that one out. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.